And the Baltimore Ravens. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
2nd and 4. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 44-yard line.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. He'll look to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. Now back to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 12-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
Second and 2. And it's caught. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. From 4 yards out. And the Packers take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll run on 1st down. Barlow, he'll have a 1st down past the 40. And he'll finally be taken down just shy of midfield. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st. You know, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
On 2nd down now, Barlow. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 12 yards to pick up there, good for a Raven 1st. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Play action. It's Jackson. Forced out to his left. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
First carry now for Justice Hill. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal.
Hey, you got 3, three down.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and goal. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. On 2nd and goal, Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal. Jackson
fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer 1st down. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And it's a fumble, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
That gets them 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
At the 4-yard line.
Here we go.
They'll come out in the pistol. 2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Three down.
Now Jackson. Out to his left. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Ravens have taken the lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. That 7-0 lead of theirs is short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
4 down.
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now the throw here complete on the right sideline. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards.
8 yards on the pickup.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
A good pickup there, a 22. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you're probably going to...
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. An 11-yard touchdown. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough. Otherwise, they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Point after, up and good. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later. Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
This is Hill on the draw play. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jackson got him in. It's Brown. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
First and 10 at the 17-yard line.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, this from 34. And the 13-year man puts it through. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2. 3rd and 2, here's Jackson. Flush to his right, and he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. When in doubt, do it yourself as he keeps it for 3 and a first down.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down. Now, I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, But he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. Now Jackson on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
But it's not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete. But you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
To throw again on second down. Jackson. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. From the gun, it's Jackson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. So it would appear they will not be able to add to their lead on this opening drive of the second half.
Yeah, if another touchdown was scored there, now we're talking about a 2-score game, and they're probably on their way of creating an excellent gap between them and their pursuers. But how about the defense there, able to step up and keep themselves in this one?
At their own 17-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Watch the screen.
Second down and inches. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
They had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
But you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. On second down, it's Hill. He'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Jackson now. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Call it a gain of a couple there as it'll leave them with a second and just 3.
At the 35-yard line.
Here we go. Gary. Single, slot. Hey, you're on an island over there. Hey.
And he'll give it here to his running back.
Go.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
Here's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. He'll drop to throw. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
They'll set up a throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tyus Bowser, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign. Here's J.K. Scott now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Ravens will get it. First and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys.
And this will be caught at the 30. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, 89 yards as the Ravens push further out in front. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this third quarter.
With the score, Ravens 24, Packers 14.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
One play has them to the 37 here for first and 10. They'll set up to throw. And that'll be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Line of scrimmage, again, the 37 as they line up second and 10.
Come on, boys, come on. Check 9. I'm on. Come on.
Second and 10. And he comes back with one complete. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll drop the throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a give right side. Barlow. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. Barlow.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And this is caught at the 8. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Marquise Brown with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker with the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held a team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job. Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league. An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They'll go buy them dinner. But after a play like that, he might reduce it, might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or two, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get one mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite filet instead of porterhouse.
8 ounce. 8 ounce is good.
All right, just checking.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. To throw is Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield, and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Jackson. Now they go screen. It's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd.
Watch that in. Cut his right. Cut his right.
He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7.
4 down. Check. Army.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They can't stop us, baby. Every time.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory.